Hey guys, this is Jason. I'm reviewing The Pickup, directed by Tim Story, the director of Barbershop, Taxi, Tom and Jerry, Shaft, the two Fantastic Four films from the 2000s, Think Like a Man 2, and Ride Along 1 and 2. And it's about two cops driving a truck, played by Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson, who are there to pick up some money for a bank. But then things go in a bad turn when a group of criminals try to ambush them and try to take the money from their truck, and the two of them have to work together to get themselves out of this terrible situation. Tim Story for me is not a good director. Granted, I haven't seen all of his films, but I've only seen a few of them, and the ones I have seen, I haven't really enjoyed, even though I do like his Fantastic Four films more than most people. Granted, it's mostly due to nostalgia, but some of the films I have seen, like Ride Along, I didn't enjoy, and I hated his Tom and Jerry movie. That one was awful. And of course, his films are mostly comedies that are supposed to have a lot of jokes but end up falling flat, and this movie is no different. This is a very unfunny movie where they're just throwing some jokes and humor that are supposed to make the audience laugh but just come off as cringe, because most of the humor is just jokes about race and some private parts. That's it. Nothing creative about those jokes. It's just those type of jokes that they're going for with this movie. And to be honest, most of this humor didn't really make me laugh at all. There was really not one part in the humor that made me laugh, and that is a bad thing when they didn't even try with the humor. That really has become a problem with comedies nowadays. I mean, so far this year with comedies haven't been doing well, some exceptions of course like The Naked Gun, but other films like Happy Gilmore 2 and Kinda Pregnant weren't very funny at all, where for the most part it feels like they're not trying to make these comedies funny. It feels like they are trying to just make bank and just to try to throw in some jokes to make us think it's funny, showing that this movie failed at doing the one important thing a comedy is supposed to do: make you laugh. And unfortunately, despite being one of the most likable comedians, Eddie Murphy in this film doesn't have anything in the humor that made me laugh, and when you have a comedy starring Eddie Murphy that's not good, then you already failed. Because I think Eddie Murphy is a hilarious comedian. He's made some comedies that did make me laugh, but this film just didn't do any of that, and Eddie Murphy just didn't even look like he was even giving it his all here. Now, he's not the worst part of the film. For me, without a doubt, it's Pete Davidson. He is not funny at all. He just looks like he's trying way too hard to be funny. I get that's kind of what they were going for, because his character is trying to get along with Eddie Murphy's character, where he's kind of a rookie on the job and he's trying to get along with Eddie Murphy to see if they can become friends after their job. But that's also the problem with both the character and Pete Davidson's performance. He just comes off very annoying, where not only he gets on Eddie Murphy's nerves, but he gets on the audience's nerves as well, and that's really bad. So I don't really know if that's his usual humor or not, but here, this humor just didn't really work for me. It just came off very annoying and cringe when he's trying too hard to be funny. The action sequences and the chase scenes look like they came out of a 2000s action film, and what I mean by that is that time period of action films would often have a lot of slow-mo for some of the chase sequences a lot, and this film has a lot of that, where you see cars crashing into something or cars blowing up. It's all shot in slow motion just to make it look cool, and that's the kind of thing I thought we were done seeing in Hollywood movies nowadays, because it's not the 2000s. No one cares about slow motion with cars anymore, and every time they show that car in slow-mo, I just felt bored. I didn't feel amazed or excited when that happened. It just made me go, whatever. Now, there is another character in this film played by Keke Palmer, who is dating Pete Davidson as well, and is technically the main villain of the film, where she has a bunch of guys with her, and they're trying to steal some money from this truck that both Davidson and Murphy are on, and she has a backstory that's supposed to get us to understand why she's doing what she's doing and what made her this way, and I get they want to add a backstory for a character like her, but it also kind of makes her look like a hypocrite when you think about it, because she's trying to do a serious moment where she's trying to get payback for something that happened to her in the past, but she's doing that by doing terrible things throughout the film, like having the two main characters hostage and going after their families. And she constantly does terrible things to the main characters, like having them tied up to places where she needs to go, even taking a certain object from one of the main characters for herself, and yet we're supposed to like her and think that she's a very sympathetic character. Why? I mean, that makes no sense. You can't have a character be sympathetic and have her do terrible things at the same time. If you're gonna do that, make the character interesting where you understand where he or she is coming from. At least have her show her good side throughout this film. Don't have her be bad throughout the entire film where she just makes herself look like a hypocrite. There are also some moments that are very unbelievable. Now, I get that this is a movie and you don't need to have everything being realistic. I get that, but the moments in here just don't make any sense. Because when you see characters try to get out of a certain spot before it blows up, you see the CGI explosion come out, and you see it get on the main characters, but they all look fine when they jump out of the vehicle. They don't look burnt, they don't have any scars or bruises on them, they just look fine. They just land on another car without a scratch. There's nothing on them, no scars, no broken bones, nothing. The Pickup is one of the most unfunny comedies I have seen so far this year. It fails as a comedy overall, it fails as an action film, and it fails as a heist film as well. With very unfunny jokes, uninteresting or likable characters, acting that just comes off bland and look like they don't even want to be there at all. A sort of villain that has motives that are questionable and make her look like a hypocrite. Action sequences in slow-mo that just come off very dated and won't be even remembered next month. And it has some moments in the action that just feel illogical. Slow-mo chase scenes that feel like they came out of the 2000s and will probably be forgotten in a month or so, and some moments in the action that just don't make any sense. If you want to watch a movie on streaming that you just want to enjoy, then skip this film. It's not worth your time. Just watch K-pop Demon Hunters again, or rent F1 if you haven't yet. I'm gonna give The Pickup a D-. Why am I going a D- instead of an F? Well, I mean, it's not the worst film I've seen this year, I guess, and it's not as bad as other films like Happy Gilmore 2 or War of the Worlds, but it's still pretty bad. So guys, if you have seen The Pickup, what do you think about it? Do you think it's a great comedy and you think it's underrated, or do you think that this is one of the worst of this year? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you liked this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing, because it helps my channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you know what other videos I'm posting. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.